Hello everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm doing another deliciously Ella recipe today. It's called key lime pie. Key lime pie is one of my favourite desserts, so I'm really looking forward to seeing if a totally healthy version can be as scrumptious as the usual version. I like to be colour coordinated, but I didn't have a green dress. Well, I have a green dress but not a lime dress. This is my best attempt today. Let me show the ingredients. Now, if you've been following these videos, you'll know that often I downsize the quantities or halve them. This time, Ella wanted us to, we're told to take 2 mugs of almonds and put them in a food processor. Now, I don't have a food processor, so I took 1.5, I should say, mugs of flaked almonds, and I crushed them in a napkin with this lemon juicer. I don't really know the right names for any of these kitchen implements. Also, I don't even own a lot of them. For instance, a rolling pin would have been much easier, but actually maybe it wouldn't. Anyway, the pointy end helped me crush up all these flaked almonds. So there's my almonds. This is partly going to make the base. So, as I was saying before my camera died, this weird looking mixture here is 20 medjool dates. The recipe calls for 30, but I'm doing 2/3 of everything instead. And you have to take the stones out and then add 2 or 1 and a bit tablespoons of coconut oil, and you have to knead it all together with the almonds, which I'm going to do now. You're supposed to have a food processor to do all of this, but I neglected to notice that bit of the recipe. I just thought, oh, key lime pie, without thinking, reading properly, realising I didn't realise what I was quite letting myself in for. So anyway, I think I've done a reasonable job with the almonds. Thank goodness they were flaked and not whole. I add them to the dates, and now I'm going to mix them. I think my hands, you know, so often there's just no substitute for hands. I actually think I might need a bigger bowl as well. But at the moment I'm just about managing. So the aim here is to knead everything together so that it becomes one, and you can press it into a tin to make the base of the key lime pie. Ella says here you should use a 20 to 25 centimetre cake tin. Well, because my key lime pie is going to be a bit smaller than Ella's, I wasn't quite sure what to use. I have enamel plates, but they're not quite deep enough, although the lip does rise up. So I'm just going to use the same dish I've used for a couple of the other oven recipes. And what is important is apparently that the base is 2 to 3 centimetres thick and very compact. I suppose that's so that when you slice it afterwards it holds together. Well, I'm not really sure I'm going to be able to make mine that thick. While I'm finishing kneading this, I'm just thinking whether I should use one of the enamel plates after all. I think I will. And risk the mixture, the top mixture being too much. Okay, I'm going to get the an enamel plate. Now, here's the enamel plate. I just hope this will be big enough. So I'm going to press this down. No, because the top mixture I think will come out. Darn. Okay, so I'm going to have to use my oven plate, oven bowl. Actually, the bottom is pretty much the same size as this enamel plate anyway. So press this down to approximately 2 to 3 centimetres thick. It's actually surprisingly hard, this mixture. So you need some force, which is good because it means it's all adhered together and will provide a very solid base. Oh, so now we do the topping. Scoop the flesh out of the avocados. Now Ella says to use 5 avocados, but because my mixture is a little bit smaller, I'm just going to use 4. I wanted to show you a really good tip for getting the base smooth. You take the bottom of something flat and oil the bottom of the mug with maybe coconut oil or olive oil if you want, if you're worried about it sticking, but it really doesn't stick very much. I guess because there's already oil in the mixture. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I don't know if you can see how smooth it is. Oh yeah, there we go. Okay. Now, I had to actually use 5 avocados after all, because I didn't think there would be enough pulp, because basically some of the avocados, part of an avocado might be ripe but another part wasn't ripe, and it really is absolutely vital to have ripe avocados because it's impossible to mash non-ripe avocados. So get 5, or if you're doing a recipe that requires 5, really, I don't know if this is making any sense, then get 6, because if a bit of one avocado is not quite ripe enough, you'll have enough by taking ripe bits from the other avocado. So now, to this our topping, the avocado mash, we add the juice of 3 limes. And when you've done this, you have to add 3/4 of a mug of maple syrup. The problem is I used up all my maple syrup the other day, and because it's so expensive I can't afford to buy any more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use honey instead. I don't think the taste will detract too much, or not too dissimilar to maple syrup. So anyway, first of all I'm going to measure out 3/4 of a mug of honey. Right. Now I mix it all together, and it's very liquid, very, very liquidy. I'm wondering what I could put in it to possibly firm it up. Possibly ground almonds, except I don't have any ground almonds left. And I have to add coconut milk. Oh my goodness. 4 tablespoons of coconut milk. Do you know what? I'm going to skip the coconut milk and just put a tiny bit of coconut oil in, because I don't think the mixture will hold together if I put coconut milk in. Now this is when I really wish I had a food processor. Maybe I'll invest in one. Save up for one more like. Okay, this is a very, very rustic key lime pie. You're supposed to blend until the mix is smooth and creamy. Then pour it onto the base and place the cake tin in the freezer to set for about an hour and a half. You want it to be firm but not frozen. Ah, I see. Okay. So you just put it in the freezer to speed things up. Okay. Where's my spatula gone? It tastes good too. Very sweet and tangy. Very tangy. I think it would be nice to have one more lime, but I just can't afford to do it because of the liquid. It'll be too runny. So now I'm going to place this in the freezer. Unfortunately my camera is malfunctioning, so I won't be able to tell you what the key lime pie tastes like today, but I will definitely remember to do it and I'll tell you what I think. Okay, thank you.